I'm Devon, and we are in Baltimore, and we are with the very talented Gail Simone at Baltimore Comic Con. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, and I'm really sorry for the people that aren't here with us because it's been an amazing convention. A lot of great people here all weekend.
It's actually one of the really great cons because it actually gets to focus on comics as opposed to the side stuff, the video games, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, so we got a chance to talk to a lot of people throughout the weekend, and that makes a big difference to
Oh
me.
yeah, absolutely. And like that actually leads to like my next question. You're like one of the, as far as like fan interaction, you are like on the forefront. What does it mean to get for you to get to these type of conventions in order to talk to fans?
Well, imagine that your job is to sit in a tiny office all day, every day, and stare at a blank computer screen until you put words up on it. And, that can get to be feeling really isolated, and we write things so much ahead of time. And when you get to a convention and you get to see and meet people that actually read the work, or even if they don't read your work, they like the same things you do, it's just really fun, and it's nice to see the different diversity that's happening and hear, what the works that they're reading mean to them. And it's just, yeah, I love it.
So what?
Right, because you have a desire to communicate, and when there's nothing on the other end when you're writing in the office, it doesn't feel as much like communication as it does when you get to see somebody in person.
Absolutely. So what are you working on right now besides Red Sonja?
Tomb Raider for Dark Horse, and I just finished up my Batgirl run, and I'm moving on to Secret Six. The new 52 Secret Six will be coming out in December, with Ken Lashley on the interiors and David Eaglesham on designs and covers. So I'm very excited about that. It is really a smoking book.
Well, you've had a pretty good long run with Barbara Gordon, and that's come to an end. So, how do you feel about that? Just is it like losing a friend? Are you just ready to move on? What?
It's there's a lot of weird mixed emotions. I sort of liken it to a divorce, that you're divorcing somebody that you really love and that you don't really want to divorce necessarily. So I go through that kind of period where I don't really think about Batgirl as much as I was before, and I sort of start trying to, get some distance so that I can move on to something else, like you would if a relationship broke up. But she's my favorite character. I've written her for a lot of years. That's been a great honor, and it's really been a fulfilling experience for me. And I feel like I could write Barbara Gordon stories forever, but it's time to do some other things, and that's why I'm really excited about Secret Six and some creator-owned projects I have coming out in 2015.
You also did a successful Kickstarter with Welcome to Megalopolis. Should we be looking for any more creator-owned work from you?
Yeah, there's going to be a volume 2 of Leaving Megalopolis with Jim Calafiore, and so I'm really excited about that because I really enjoyed working on that project a lot. We're really proud of it. I loved seeing Jim's art and the way he designed the whole thing. And then I have a couple other things that will be coming out next year that I'm currently working on, but we're not ready to announce yet. So look for some announcements around like New York Comic Con time, and we'll have the art and things together by then.
I just wanted to get your opinion on this. Everyone's been talking about women within the comics industry lately, and I hate to bring it to this, but you're a woman in the comics industry, so I'm going to ask this question of you. Do you think that it's not so much that it is a rise of the women in the comics industry, or is it finally that it's just being noticed?
Well, it's a combination of both. I think, when comics first were created and first were coming out, everyone read them. And then we went through this period where, less and less females were reading them in particular, and the ones of us who did were kind of considered aliens almost, and there wasn't as many female creators in comparison to male creators for a while, and I think that's changing. The internet has opened up, given people voices, given other ways to tell stories that that more people can get exposed to. The conventions are definitely a lot more 50-50 gender than they were 10 years ago, which all of it's good. This should be an open medium and have things for everyone to enjoy, and creators too. It's just been my absolute delight to see so many new female creators coming in as creators, editors, all aspects of the industry and winning awards and being recognized. And pretty soon, I bet we're not going to have so many panels that are titled Women in Comics. It's just going to be writers or comics about this or something. We won't be having those distinctions as much and as often. Or we might see dudes in comics panels.
All right. So, what excites you the most about what's going on in comics right now for you personally?
I just think that seeing it open up and seeing the diversity of stories and characters and ways to tell a story, and whether it's going to be digital or on paper or organized differently, it's just very exciting to see people put their creative energy into something and giving us more content, better content, and just a lot of diversity and kids comics, adult comics, everything in between, and it's not just one type of comic being printed multiple times, and I'm very excited about that.
So, what would you personally like to write in the near future, other than what you're writing right now?
I don't know. I always have ideas of things I want to do. I really do like creating worlds and characters from the ground up, so I'm concentrating a bit more on that than I have in the past. In terms of how much of that I'm doing compared to how much superhero or licensed work that I'm doing. And again, I like to create things that we haven't seen before, so that's what excites me, is trying to figure out a new way to tell a story, or let's tell a story with an autistic hero, or with a hero from South America, or from another culture, another location, another economic background, just all of those things, and tell interesting stories and with their adventures.
Well, thank you very much. It was great talking to you.
Nice talking to you guys too.